Representative Cody Harris, thank you for being here with me today. Let's talk about House Bill 1397. And if I remember correctly, you mentioned on the floor this was one of the most important bills you've ever filed. Walk me through what this would do.
Well, what I said on the floor is I think when I look back over my legislative career, I think this will have been one of the most significant bills that I've ever filed. Significant impact to the culture of the state of Texas. And this was a bill that I came up with the idea just kind of sitting in the backyard one day. I had taken my dad down to the Alamo last summer, and we did the tour of the new facility there. And when I was in the seventh grade, I had to memorize the Travis victory or death letter. And so when my kids, we homeschooled our kids one year, and so I made the kids memorize the letter as well. That's one of the most important pieces of Texas history. And it's known all over the world. And unfortunately, it just sits in the bottom of the basement at the Texas Archives Commission. And I thought, you know what? This is a document that is so important that it needs to be displayed in a similar manner to what the U.S. Constitution is at the National Archives in Washington, D.C., where people can see it on a regular basis, but it's correctly housed, it's correctly protected. But ultimately, this letter needs to go back home. It needs to be at the Alamo.
And this wouldn't just apply to the Alamo. I believe the original version was just the Alamo, and then now we're talking about the Texas Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, if I'm not mistaken. What inspired you to bring those forward as well?
That's correct. That was working with Chairman Metcalf, who's the chair of the committee. He had a bill that dealt specifically with the Texas Declaration of Independence and Constitution. Mine dealt with the Travis letter. The Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, and in the new combined version of the bill, will be housed at the Texas State Capitol. And because we know it will take some time to build the correct housing structure for the Travis letter at the Alamo, we said, all right, so temporarily we're going to move the Travis letter to the Capitol with the Declaration of Independence in the Constitution. Then once the Alamo project is done, we will permanently move the Travis letter back home to the Alamo.
So this is the thing that sticks out about the bill. This would be a permanent move, because I know the Alamo has had the Travis letter stored there a couple times, but it's never been permanent. This would permanently make it that way, correct?
That's correct.
What impact do you think this would have on Texans overall?
I think being able to physically see the handwritten words of Colonel William Barrett Travis in person at the spot where he wrote those words, appealing to all Americans in the world to come to the defense of the defenders of the Alamo in those last hours in March of 1836. And knowing the end result of that, when we finally won our independence from Mexico at San Jacinto, when so many people across the United States did come to the aid of the Texans fighting in that revolution, I think it's something that really makes the importance of Texas being its own republic in our history, our fierce nature to fight for independence, and individual responsibility and liberty, that being able to see that document firsthand really just brings it home.
Where, and regarding the Texas Constitution and the Declaration, is there any place in the Capitol in particular you would like to see those put?
Wherever the most people can see it. And I think, on the third floor, second and third floor, we have the old the state Supreme Court, state appeals courts rooms that are just kind of set up there as museums, basically. They're not really in use a lot. I think that'd probably be a really good spot to do it, or in the Legislative Reference Library on the first floor.
And just going back to the Alamo for one more question, what do you think it could mean for tourism in the area?
I think that the Alamo is probably one of our biggest tourist attractions right now in the state of Texas, and having the Travis letter there is not only could boost tourism, but because we already have so many people visiting that site on a daily basis, that's where the most people will be able to see it.